everyone. Today I'm doing a review on Bad 25, the documentary directed by Spike Lee. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the Spike Lee Michael Jackson connection, Spike Lee has directed 2 music videos or short films for Michael Jackson for They Don't Care About Us. He also has been an advocate for Michael Jackson when Michael passed away, and from time to time Spike Lee does Michael Jackson birthday tribute parties in Prospect Park. So I think Spike Lee is an absolutely good fit to represent Michael Jackson for this documentary. Now, basically, the documentary is some insight to the making of Bad, which came out in August of 1987. The initial problem was Michael Jackson's trying to outdo his Thriller numbers, and he had this vision of doing 100 million units for Bad. Now, Quincy Jones felt like this was self-destructive to compete with Thriller, but Michael Jackson always wanted to exceed himself, and he pulled out all the stops. He had a studio built in Westlake Studios in California. He's had the best engineers, and some of these engineers were featured in the documentary. The best people on keyboards, percussions, you name it. And you definitely hear the artistry in the album. You have ballads, you have songs for thought, you have dance tracks, you have seductive tracks, you have a nice range of different styles. And personally, I love the album, but for me there's this one song that felt disconnected, and they actually mentioned this in the documentary. I think that's what kept it from being like a Thriller or an Off the Wall, because this is the days before MP3s, and even though there were CDs in this era, they weren't as advanced as they became. Most of the time when you put an album or a CD in, you're kind of stuck with it, not unless you get up and fast forward. The trick was to be the type of artist to make an album that's so good that you just want to play all the tracks consecutively. It's not like how it is now. You pick and choose what you want, you make a playlist, you shuffle, you walk out the door. And I honestly appreciate Bad more now than then, because even though it had Smooth Criminal and Bad and songs like that, it still didn't have that same groove like Off the Wall or Thriller. So yeah, I could see why Michael pulled all the stops. What enhanced the album is definitely the music videos. He used different directors, different concepts. Actually, one of my favorite videos from the album was Bad, because it was just like, yo, that's deep, It was like a freaking short, it really was a short film as far as I'm concerned. So this is the challenge of making of Bad, basically trying to beat Thriller. And as we know, Thriller is still #1. I believe Bad's the number 11 selling album of all time, something like that. And I think Bad is also Michael's 2nd best-selling album. So it's still a good album, bottom line. So the one thing that I could criticize about the documentary that I felt it was like, whoa, was there's a question Spike Lee poses to some of the people that he interviews. And the next thing you know, they're crying, we're crying in the movie theater, and then he pulls you back in with the song. What? I felt like they should have just left that question for maybe a DVD bonus chapter or something, and just went straight to the song, because I think you still would have evoked the same emotion, but it would have been a lot more intrusive. It would have been like, oh, wait, when I hear this song I think of, Another thing is, there's definitely 2 versions from the one that was in the movie theater versus the one on the television. The DVD appears to be the one that was in the movie theater. So you're going to get a lot more to see if you didn't see it there. It appears to be in one language. It's about 1 hour, 131 minutes, which is about 2 hours and 11 minutes. For now, the Michael Jackson website is the only way to get this. It seems to be no other distributions for this except for the website. And I mean, I'm hoping that if it's in another country, it has other options. But for now, I only have the US version, so it's only in English. So I have some homework for you because I want you to elevate your Michael Jackson experience. So, you know, Michael has this saying, study the greats and become greater. So with that being said, I highly recommend getting Moonwalker. It was mentioned. And of course, a lot of the music videos are in this daggone thing. West Side Story was mentioned. The Bandwagon was mentioned. Buster Keaton's College was mentioned. And all that jazz. Other films that I mentioned, but I didn't have money or time to get it, was Flashdance, The Third Man, and Give My Regards to Broad Street. Either it's on Netflix or I have it and couldn't find it. But that's your homework. Watch those movies, then watch Bad again, take notes, and study the greats and become greater. So if you guys saw this documentary, what are your thoughts? And if you did not see it, what do you hope to learn? So I guess that's all I have for the comments parts. And until my next post, Gadget Trish is out. Bye.